All right. Well, speaking of the Bears, Nika, we got some good, bad, and ugly to talk about from that first preseason game versus the Browns. Are you ready?
Sure. Rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Here's what I got on the good list from this game.
Ooh, we got a list.
Yeah, the offense. I mean, 34 points in a preseason game with all backups playing. I would say 90 to 95% of the players out there are not going to be starting week one, but you're only as strong as your weakest link on your 53-man roster. So all of these people are competing to make the Bears the best team they possibly can.
So we're going to have tryouts.
The offense had some explosive plays I wrote down here. Salvon Ahmed had a big 49-yard TD, and he looks fast out there, everybody. Woo!
All right, that's a good one.
That. Kaden Davis also had a 41-yard catch and a big day through the air for him. We got some depth at wide receiver. I mean, these are not the household names that we normally talk about on our show here. So
they might become household names by the end of the season.
There's a lot of competition on this Bears roster right now. So it's exciting to see them competing here when given the opportunity. We also had plays of 28 yards, 25 yards, 18 and 18 just through the receiving game alone. And this takes me back to what our new offensive coordinator, Press Taylor, has been preaching throughout training camp, is that we are not a management offense. We are not managing the game. We are an explosive team on offense.
If you ain't first, you're last. You know?
And that goes exactly what Caleb and Ben Johnson put on their shoulders. Score more
absolutely.
points.
Well, I think because people are saying, Caleb needs to be more efficient and get his completion percentage up there. And Ben Johnson's saying that too. But Press Taylor has been preaching more. We don't talk about being efficient in our room. We talk about being explosive. And I think these plays, even though they're the backups, kind of back up that it's trickling down. It's a message that applies to the whole team, not just Caleb.
The Bears.
Our rookies
looked
pretty good out there, everybody. Sam Roush, Logan Jones on offense, both getting productive. Sam Roush getting a couple catches out there. On defense, Jordan Vandenberg, man, he looks like a wrecker sometimes. He is really quick off the nose, and just watch his stock keep rising as the season goes on, Nika.
Fantastic.
He's got a lot to learn still, and he's in his early days, but boy, does it look promising. It looks like the Bears found a winner here.
Welcome aboard.
Dylan Thieneman, he was fine out there. I heard a little bit of his post-game locker room that he had fun, and the game is coming to him naturally. And I wanted to point out Malik Muhammad also looked very fast out there and made a few tackles. Good to see the rookies getting their feet wet, as they say. But one rookie did not get his feet wet, and that is Xavien Thomas. And we talked about this last week, but unfortunately, he was not able to get out there for this game.
It's a damn shame. A damn shame.
And I think this is something to keep an eye on, because as much of a weapon as he is, Ben Johnson also needs to be able to trust him in order for him to get on the field. And this might delay his implementation into the 2026 season. We'll have to wait and see if he gets on the field in any of these preseason games. I'm hopeful, and the sooner he gets out there, the better, because I think we all want to see it. But that was the one rookie note that it's not bad. It's not the end of the world, but it is a little bit concerning because
well, maybe he's
fast.
He's fast, but he might be a project. He is in the developmental stages, and he needs to work on his stuff before he gets put on the field.
So you concur?
I want to jump on the other side of the ball on defense and talk about the fact that the defense looked pretty good after the first quarter. Not so great early on, though. We were watching and kind of being
it was rough.
Nevertheless, by the time the dust settled on this one, we had 3 takeaways, which was a formula for success last year. 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. We also added a couple sacks, and that all came from Jamree Kromah, everybody. And get used to this name, because I have a sneaking suspicion that this guy's going to make the team. Number 59, great number, by the way. That was my high school football number. So,
are you not crying that somebody else is using your number?
Oh, no. I have more testicular fortitude than Jaden Daniels. He got 2 sacks in this game, plus a forced fumble and a fumble recovery. So what a debut for him in the Bears navy and orange. And I want to call out Beanie Bishop as well, a recent acquisition from the Bears. Now, I believe he's suspended for the first 3 games of the season. Ouch, because this guy had 2 tackles and 2 interceptions, Nika. It's like the ball was just finding him out there.
Right.
We're talking about a lot of names here that we haven't really talked about on this show. And so that's exciting to see too, a little bit. You know, maybe we got more depth than we even know.
But we have to learn the names.
We have to learn the names. And last note on the defense is it was good to see Cam Lewis back on the field after he left carded as well. Not as serious as Kobe Bryant, obviously. He was, of course, playing in his position. So good to see him back out on the field so soon. Now, without further ado, we got to talk about the bad.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, when you win a game 34-10, the good news is there's not a lot of bad and ugly to talk about, but there was some bad. And it's all up front for the Bears, starting with the left tackle on the offensive side. Kieran Amagaji and Jedrick Wills Jr. both were not great.
Okay.
They had low Pro Football Focus scores. At this point, we already know that Ozzie Trapillo has been activated. We also know that Braxton Jones is back practicing already after missing some time with a shoulder injury. So that's good news for the left tackle spot because I think Braxton Jones was looked at as the front runner for the position going into training camp.
Are these guys second stringers or third stringers?
Well, this was the position that was listed at
I see.
you know, so I don't think there's a clear-cut winner right now.
Okay.
So we're gonna have tryouts.
Neither one of them did themselves any favors. And at this point, I wonder if these two are competing for just a spot on the roster, period.
It might be.
It might be the end of the road for Kieran Amagaji, everybody. So keep an eye on that.
Well, they were late acquisitions by the Bears anyway.
Well, he was a draft pick in 2024, Kieran Amagaji.
I understand.
But Jedrick Wills was just kind of brought in on a flyer this year to compete and wants to prove it.
But Kieran is from the previous regime.
Well, kinda. He was drafted when Eberflus was here, but Ryan Poles drafted him.
I know.
Ryan Poles is an offensive lineman, and
That's
this is an offensive lineman. So this would not reflect kindly on Ryan Poles, I feel like, if he's cut this year, but it is a possibility.
You're fired.
The other side of the ball on the edge, of course, much like last year, we looked slow and we did not get a lot of pressure on the quarterback against the Browns in this game. Specifically, I'm going to call out Austin Booker. He looked disappointing. You know, everyone's been posting glamour shots of him in the weight room this offseason and how good he looks, but it doesn't matter how good you look if it doesn't translate onto the field. So
can't judge the book by the cover. You got to open it up.
There's more to it than just looking great in the mirror.
The Bears! Ah, the Bears!
And Dio Odangbo, everybody, did not look motivated out there to a lot of people, including myself.
So what do we have to do to get him more motivated?
I think the answer lies with one Marcus Davenport for now.
They brought him just to motivate
Maybe
Dio?
they brought in Marcus Davenport, who signed with the Bears today at defensive end, who's not the end-all be-all answer, believe me. But did they bring in a guy like this to start motivating the existing players as like phase one? We'll wait and see. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But before that, I want to move on to the ugly part of this game, Nika. Because there was one ugly thing that I wanted to mention, and it's not a huge deal in the grand scheme of things, but I guess, like I've said a lot throughout this segment, it's something to keep an eye on. The Bears were once again slow starting in this game, something we said a lot last year on our post-game shows. I think this is an underrated problem, and it seems to be team-oriented since this was Tyson Bagent's game. And he missed a lot early. The Bears had 2 3-and-outs to start this game, including 2 incompletions on third down from Tyson Bagent in manageable situations. 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3. You know, one of those should have been converted, I feel like. And I know he was probably playing with a little bit of adrenaline. He did wind up finishing 13 for 22 in the game, so he calmed himself down. Nevertheless, I don't like this, man. I don't like us when we start slow out of the gate.
You can't judge the whole team by a first preseason game. So, yes, it's good to have all these data points and see how they get improved by the season beginning.
This is really nitpicky here, though.
I know.
And I'm doing it on purpose just because it's something I noticed, and it's a carryover from last year. So I want to make sure and point it out that it's not going to become a problem week after week.
Absolutely, and it's a valid point because we don't want a cardiac Bears.
We don't. I don't want any more cardiac Bears. At least not as many times as
Right,
last
but if
year.
they want to score a lot more points in passing yards, break some records, whether that's a franchise records or NFL records, they cannot be slow out of the gate. They have to score early and they have to score often.
We didn't see any of the first unit starters, like I said,
Right.
other than at left tackle potentially. But I don't even know if one of them two is going to start, like I said. And Braxton Jones might play this week, so we'll see what happens there.
And that game
but
is Saturday, right? Or Sunday?
I haven't even looked that far ahead yet.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Nevertheless, I would say overall this was a pretty good showing, and the roster looks really deep, especially on offense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about the season. All in all, I think the roster's really deep and fast. You know, the Bears have definitely gotten faster since last year, and I love that. So let's keep it up. Let's keep going. On to week 2 of the preseason against Cincinnati.
Oof.
So I'll be curious to see who is going to play and not play this week. This is probably the biggest opponent challenge for the Bears in the preseason, and we don't know if Cincinnati's going to play their number ones or what is going on with their camp. We can't even keep up with the Bears camp, so let alone Bengals camp. We'll find out as the game gets closer.
Joe Burrow is most likely going to not start. He got banged up in the first game, so I don't know if they're going to put him out
Exactly.
there.